So my thoughts for today are about limiting beliefs, and specifically, if you've ever challenged your own beliefs. Because I was talking through a situation with a friend today where he's a well-known influencer in space, and someone came up basically to be like, I don't like you, and I'm going to tell you. And these are all the reasons why. And then I went through and was just like, it was interesting to hear the feedback of he challenged it. He challenged this person's beliefs and views. And I know from my experience, so many people have such strong beliefs and they are deep rooted. But when you actually ask them about them, they don't often have a thought behind why they believe that. And I fundamentally believe if that's the case, they're not yours, they're someone else's. So if you have a belief that you are so deeply ingrained with, like, this is the way the world works, ask why. So coming from a background in physics, so I've got a degree in physics, there's a fantastic principle called from first principles, right? And it's basically where you have a problem, and rather than starting at the top of the problem, you start at the very bottom and you say, okay, given the laws of the universe, what the physical constraints are, what do we know, and then build upwards from there. And there's a fantastic case of Elon doing this with batteries. And they were like, the cost of battery production just didn't make sense to him. Looking at the price of the raw materials, he was like, this is ridiculous and doesn't make any sense. I can do it cheaper than anyone else in the world because physically it's possible. And then inevitably, Gigafactory, the biggest producer of batteries in the world, well, you nailed it. Shocker, Elon does that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's my recommendation for you today is, especially if something is working against you, if you have a belief of this thing can't work, challenge yourself as to why. And is there a physical limitation, or is it just your experience so far that is giving you that belief, or is it someone else's story that you're ascribing to? There you go. Just don't want you to be limited. Note for myself, just about business. So I think I mentioned this the other day, not sure, I'll tell you. The current limiting belief I've got at the moment was that 100% commission sales jobs is not a good idea, for so many reasons. I just didn't think it was going to work. Didn't think anyone would willingly risk not having the security and all this sort of stuff. But then we've noticed after hiring so many people that they just don't have the skill. They don't have the hunger, the drive. And one of my friends who comes from that world just kind of broke the myth, broke the belief. And we were there like, yeah, actually, the more I think about this, the more it makes sense of, because I would take 100% commission sales role because I know for a fact that I back myself. Like, I train sales teams. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I know all of my numbers along the whole way through it. And I know this is physically possible because at the outcome of what we're looking to achieve, because I personally have done it. Millie has personally done it, so we know it's achievable and people are just struggling. And I don't want to put the idea of having a sales team in the bin, just because we haven't made it work just yet. So there you go. Challenge your limiting beliefs. Hopefully something good will come out of it. And just ask yourself why. If you can't answer it, that's a good thing. Go and find the answer, and hopefully it will shed some light as to why you do or no longer believe a certain thing. All right, guys, there you go. Peace. See you later. One final thing before we go. For any of you that are there like, yeah, I crush sales. If you think you can even do half what I can do, even half, I'll pay you about 70 grand a year. Let's give it a go. If you can match me, 140k, roughly what it is, that'll be paid straight to you, and we'll have a very good friendship going along, and you will help build something bigger than just you. So if you're interested, put a comment down. I'll send you over a form to fill in, and if you've got the stats, if you think about things the right way, we'll put you through a mock trial call, and then we'll jump on a call with me. And if you have the skills, I'm more than happy to give you a shot. Cost me about £1,000 to do so. If you mess up, then I lose £1,000, and if you don't, you get a job. Sick. All right. Later.